What are the most unattractive female names? The name Fanny in the UK. Fanny is used unofficially as a term for female genitals, whether labia or vagina. We are aware that most Americans consider the name to be for a backside. Hence us Brits giggling like schoolgirls when we hear an American using it in front of us. The name Fanny is not as popular as it used to be. What a surprise. What I didn't at first realize is that the name originally came about as a condensed version of Stephanie or Stephanie. None the English name, but the worst name I ever heard. I am sick, and the girl was always so sickly that our school nurse told us to stop calling her by the name, and you would get punished if you didn't want wherever you are. I hope you're now okay. Any name that would feel weird moaning while shagging. Especially traditional male-sounding names like Tony, Peter, Bobby, Georgie, etc. Oh, and any family members' names. I would feel a bit weird dating someone with the same name as my mother or sister. Taylor, Courtney, Megan. Special shout-outs to the brides of the world. You're named after a fucking cheese. You dopey cows, and all of those made up as fuck names. Literally anything spelled like a developmentally challenged child headbutted a keyboard. I have a tough time with Ethel. Lily Allen named her daughter Ethel in light. Also have a big problem with Hilary Duff naming her daughter Bangs. My German great-aunt was called Edeltraut. She moved to America and nicknamed herself Chica D. A manatee, other than to make women who, through no fault of their own, are called those names feel bad about themselves. Seriously, is this kind of shitty, subjective question the best this sub can do? My ex-wife didn't have a middle name, so, when I would playfully scold her by saying her full name, I felt that filling in a placeholder was appropriate, so I would use the worst name I could think of as a placeholder, Agnes. I was shocked to read Dildora on one of my co-workers' badge. I believe she is from Uzbekistan, and in her language it is a lovely name, but sounds god-awful in English, like a trash porn star or something. Nurtle. I can't imagine saying this name in an intimate moment with any sort of genuine endearment. The only person I've known who had this name was made fun of ceaselessly. They are all as beautiful as the women wearing them, but there are some severely clunky names in the Germanic Scandic direction. Gunhild, Brunhild, Herdis, etc. Shaniqua, Latanya, Laquatia, Jessica, Desiree, Candy, Terry, Desire, Willow, May, April, Summer, June, August, Autumn, and Rose, just to name a few. Dirt. For some reason it sounds like some dried up cougar trying to take advantage of you. Probably needs an all-tankers amount of lubricant. One of my teachers looked at me in class one day and said, "You look like you should have been called Rita." And I haven't recovered since. 1. Anything with Lee. Like, what is Kayla? 2. Tina, I'm sorry, but that name sounds so. Just so ... IDK. I just hate it. For me, if it sounds like it belongs on a stripper pole or a council estate, it's not a good name. Candy Crystal Angel, for example. Margot looks far too much like Maggot. Margot Robbie, however, has made the name far more palatable. Ethel is also horrendous. Frau Blucher. Young Frankenstein, Frau Blucher, and the horses. What about Ophelia? I am unsure. BC, on one hand it's very elegant, but also I picture an old lady in her deathbed, so I met a girl named Frankie. I was instantly turned off. Imagine, hey guys, I want you to meet my new GF, Frankie. Dorcas, Doris, Sneha, Regard. Fiona sounds nice but easily mangled into something that sounds like vagina. Gonna go out on a limb and assume most names here are American. You'll have some interesting names there. Tracy and Karen has been ruined forever, obviously. Trudy, Fanny. Pretty awful for obvious reasons. True story, met someone named Leanie, though it would be pronounced Linne. Nope, it's La-Ni. I used to teach a girl called Feral, and she really was feral too. Horrible name, horrible girl. I know lots of people will disagree, but Ruth is a fucking horrible name, and Myrtle and Beulah. Every I've ever met have been the worst people ever. So from past experiences, Avery. Gertrude, there used to be a girl in my school with this name. It sounded very ancient. Peggy, for no reason. Just don't like this name. If you're Peggy, don't get it personally. Nora. It just sounds bad. I fully understand why I've never met anyone called Nora. Penny. It just seems disrespectful to name a daughter Penny. Was Nickel taken? Big fat ugly bug-faced baby eating a Brian. Shenda. Brenda, but make it Shash. I don't hate the name, but it's weird. Gloomy, that's my cousin's name. She changed it from Eva to Gloomy. Henrietta ... WHYY. Were there no other names you could think of? Beulah. It sounds like the name of a small, especially ugly fish. Wilma, Agnes and Bertha are my pet hates. Give me the shudders. I met a Shrek once. Would have been fine except for the movies. Dorcas, in American English accent. It sounds like Dorkas's. Rehash Reddit content. I hate that name. You Karmabop. Bertha. Dorothy, Barbara, Magdalena, Fatima, Karen.